Hello and welcome to Fresh Meat meditation video. My name is Lev. Some people know me as Fresh. Either is fine. And I'm just so honored to be here with you, my gender queer, gender expansive, beautiful trans and beyond community. I want to take a moment to acknowledge that I'm now seated on Ohlone land. The Ohlone are the tribe that are very much still here, striving, working together within their community and beyond to help better our systems. And I'm really grateful for the nourishment that I get from this land that I know has been cultivated and in many ways maintained by these peoples. So thank you. So I'm here to remind you that you're the star of this show, and that you are made of stars, that you are part of the earth, that the lungs in your body were developed in the ocean, and that you are part of everything, part of this web of life. Reminding you often as I do that you are no accident. None of us are. There were about 75 million to 250 million sperm racing for that egg, and you won. You're supposed to be here. Thank you for taking your space. I want to thank you for your commitment to being your authentic self, your true being in any way that's possible for you right now. Your willingness to be and go beyond the limits created by the power obsessive patriarchy creates a model for all humans to literally live into their human beingness. Who you are is an example of what liberatory gender and freedom of expression look like. You are a gift to the world. I am honored to be among you. I'm honored to be with you. I'm honored to be here. So we're going to take some time. This is a time to be present. That's some of what I do. That's some of what I bring, is this way of being able to be grounded and present with whatever is, to be able to be with our whole selves as possible with whatever is arising. And certainly during this time, many of us have had lots of things showing up. And I think I'll just want to acknowledge that I know that some of you were isolated before this happened. And so what I'm hoping and what I'm hearing, I'm hoping is true, is that those of you who have been outside and isolated are actually finding more ways to connect and more communities to connect with. For those of us who have had opportunity to connect, but it's just not what we do, I encourage you to continue to reach out and keep looking for your tribe. We're all different, we're all unique, we all have all these different cultures, and there are people for you somewhere on this globe. Keep looking, they're looking for you. So we acknowledge our suffering even as we celebrate our lives. We celebrate ourselves as survivors. We are survivors. You are a survivor. You wouldn't be here otherwise. It's one thing to live in our culture within the binary, following the rules and suffering. We know that once you get out of that box, that suffering deepens, and yet you're still here. It is my hope that all of you will remain here with us through this journey until you're called to go elsewhere. So we celebrate the strength and the resiliency of our community, all the beautiful aspects of ourselves coming forward, our comedy, our music, our voices, our everything, our politics, our desire to be free and happy. So let us meditate. We'll meditate for a few moments, and what I want to share before I begin is a reminder, and maybe new to some of you, is meditation is not about closing our eyes and going into some silent, dark or light space. It's actually calling us home to ourselves with an attempt to be able to focus on something, whether it's our breath, whether it's the sensations in our body. And for those of you who can't access the breath of the body, I want to encourage you to consider sound. So not listening where we're waiting, but just the hearing of sound. The other thing I want to include is that especially in the beginning, for many of us, it's hard to keep still. Some of the practices that I'd like to offer in that instance is tapping the outside of your thighs gently. You might even tap on your chest, just one hand on your heart. We won't be meditating for too long. Also the top of our thighs. So these are practices that can be done. And if you're really high energy and you have to move around safely and skillfully. The goal of the practice is to allow us to be able to be with ourselves and in control of what our mind is thinking. So we're less in reaction and more in response. So that we're choosing who we want to be and how we want to be in each moment. In addition, of course, it raises our awareness because we're not responding all the time. It helps to raise our awareness of not only what is, again, how we want to respond to it. And as I've said to some of my folks who live in a more violent existence, wouldn't it be great to be able to choose to throw a punch rather than having your body react to throwing a punch? And believe it or not, some of these folks actually really took that in and appreciated that perspective. So we're not trying to change you. We're trying to bring you closer to you, or supporting you in getting closer to you. So enough of that lead. So let's start by closing our eyes and maybe just sitting with your response from what I've shared. And we do this by breathing as normal or regular as possible, and noticing any sensations in our bodies or irritations in our minds. Another term for mindfulness is what I call a compassion practice. It's a self-love practice. It's a kindness practice. If our body or mind are responding, can we just be with it, notice it for a moment without judgment? So we'll have some silence, and I'm going to offer some phrases that I have found supportive for myself and others. And let us begin first with bringing ourselves home just a little bit more, home to ourselves. And we'll begin by activating something called the vagus nerve, which can be found in the area of our throat and with tentacles that come down and touch all of our organs. The nerve allows us to experience a little bit more calm, and for some of us, more safety. Everything that I'll be offering is an invitation, and you're always free to choose what's best for you, including tuning me out. Please be kind to you. So our exercise will include putting our hand on our belly. And as we breathe in, we extend our belly. And and we'll hold at the top. And then we'll breathe out, letting go. We'll push it, push it, push it. You'll hear me. And then we'll come back up and breathe in and repeat that process. It's actually a wonderful exercise for our lungs, helping to keep them clear and strong. So for anybody who's having any concerns in that area, again, just go to your capacity. Full for some of you will be here, and full for some of you will be the full length of your diaphragm. This is about being kind. So let us begin. Breathing in, allowing our belly to expand. So you exaggerate a little bit. Breathing in. Hold, and breathing out. Letting go, letting go, letting go. Breathing in. Hold. And release. Push, push it, push it. Breathing in. Hold. Breathing out. And feel free to do 2 more times on your own. Breathing in. And on the next exhale, releasing your shoulders and back. As you're inhaling and coming back to normal breathing, you want to be sure your shoulders are open as possible. Your chest is open. We're used to hunching over our computer, so rolling back with ease. At your regular breathing, exhaling again, allowing your elbows to fall towards the floor and finding the sensations in your hands. They may be wet, dry, numb. Perhaps you can feel the material they're touching, just noticing. Breathing in, we might imagine just very slightly expanding the skin on our face and the muscles, and breathing out, allowing our brow and eyes and releasing all of the muscles around our nostrils and jaw. Just allowing everything to be at ease. Whether you're sitting, standing, or lying down, you might experience the pull of your body towards the earth. And see if you can release just a little bit more on the next exhale. And on this one. And on this one. Relaxing your torso and legs. Perhaps finding your toes, and feel free to splay and bring them back, releasing any tension and allowing for the muscles and bones to just be. Sometimes in this practice, emotions may rise, and that's okay. You're welcome to put your hand on your heart, which is my favorite thing. You can put your hand on your heart and your belly, or just your belly. Please take care of you. These touches actually allow the sensation of care. For those of you who prefer more quiet practice, I encourage you to pause the video and come back knowing that all over the world, millions of people will be practicing with you. And in this moment, I'm going to offer the phrases I mentioned earlier. Please feel free to take what works for you and release the rest. Again, at any time, you can put your hand on your heart or your belly for comfort. I'll begin with, I am love. I am loved by this universe and beyond. I am enough. I am worthy. I am worthy of all good. I am a fabulous specimen of a human being. I am strong and I am strengthened in community. I am everything as all the elements of life flow through me. I am one with the universe. I am divine. And now pausing, we offer some wishes for ourselves. And again, putting your hand on your heart, if that feels comfortable. May I be safe and protected from all harm. May I be compassionate with myself in this life, always. May I own my power and serve as I can in my community all of my life. I am love. I am loved. May I always know I am enough. And we might share out to our community. May all be safe and protected from inner and outer harm. May all be peace and live with ease. May all trans, LGBTQIA plus people and beyond, may all beings awaken and be free from suffering. Thank you so much for your presence and your kind attention today. And I'm wishing you safety from COVID and that you can take in all the love that the universe is bringing in for you.